I try to reach a better me, but I need a way to walk myself upward, step by step, out of the heaviness of doubt. That's what this workout is for, not to force positivity, but to climb gently through the scale of emotions, from sadness into relief, from relief into hope, and from hope into the knowing that I was never broken to begin with. Let's do it. I feel so tired of trying to be a better me. The harder I work at it, the more I collapse under the weight of my own expectations. I snap, I fail, and then I punish myself. And in those moments I feel useless, empty, as though I'm not needed anywhere. But maybe this feeling of being unwanted is just my narrow attention. Maybe it isn't the truth of me, just a tunnel of thought that shuts out the wider view. What if I am not empty, but actually space? A space that can hold all of me, even the messy parts. A space where I can breathe, even when the storm of emotion is raging. My reactions are not who I am, they are energy built up, spilling out. But they are not the essence of me. I can be the one who stays, who doesn't abandon myself, even when I stumble. And maybe doubt itself isn't proof of weakness. Maybe doubt is simply the shaking of a step, the step that already moves me toward belief. What if I use the doubt itself to shake my old belief? What if I start out the broken part of the belief? What if it's okay just to say that I am not broken? Wouldn't it be nice if I started to see myself not broken? What if this is true? Perhaps I didn't see the other sides of the situation. I'm beginning to see. Perhaps I'm not broken. Perhaps I'm not a project at all. And if I'm not broken, then I must be whole. I am alive. The stream of life never left me. Maybe I am a stream of life, sometimes calm, sometimes restless, always flowing, and that thought opens just enough space for kindness to slip in. It's nice to be kind to my own self. Maybe it doesn't matter as much as I've been making it out to be. My breakdowns, my sharp words, my doubts, perhaps they are not proof of my failure, but only small events in a much bigger life. So what if I snapped? So what if I doubted myself again? The sun still rises, the air still fills my lungs. Life keeps moving, with or without my perfection. The world doesn't stop to grade me. Why should I keep grading myself? I start to see how light it could feel if I just said it doesn't matter that much. The storms pass, the shadows fade, and I remain. I don't need to keep fixing myself every moment. I don't need to keep fixing myself every moment. I can let things be less important than I've made them to be. And that realization softens me. It brings relief. If nothing matters so heavily, then maybe I matter in a gentler way. Simply because I exist, I matter simply because I exist. I exist. if the weight of my worries is smaller than I thought, then something brighter might matter more than I imagined. What if I am not empty but unfolding? What if my presence, imperfect as it is already needed? Why did I depend on perfection? Maybe my worth doesn't depend on perfection. My worth must have been always with me, just forgotten. Maybe it is written into me, the way breath is written into my body. I don't have to prove it, I just have to notice it. What if beyond all my self-criticism there is clarity waiting? What if this fog of self-doubt is the very place where light can slip through? What if each fall into I can is only a breath away from discovering I can? The cracks in me are not evidence of weakness, they are openings, and through them I begin to glimpse I am not a project to fix, I am a flow that always finds its way forward. I am a flow that always finds its way forward. I remind myself every single time I self-doubted, I still found a way to rise again every time. That means there is strength in me that survives, even when I don't believe in it. My doubt doesn't erase my power, it actually reveals it. The shaky ground makes me learn balance. The fear of falling makes me discover how to walk. Discover how to walk. So maybe self-doubt is not my enemy. Maybe it is the very place where my strength awakens. I don't need to wait for certainty before I move. Faith is not waiting until the trembling stops. Faith is taking the step while I tremble, and the step itself is what creates proof, not the other way around. And here it is. Yes, I can breathe through storms. I can take one more step. I can keep living, creating, loving. The evidence is already everywhere in my life. Every moment I thought I couldn't, and yet I did. Every time I thought I'd collapse, and yet I stood. Yes, I know who I am. I am not a mistake. I am a flow of life, sometimes cloudy, sometimes clear, always alive. And from this deeper place, faith becomes more than a hope. It becomes a steady voice. Yes, I can. At the weight I gave my worries, and it almost makes me laugh. How I drag them around like anchors, only to see now they were feathers in disguise. Yes, I can move forward without them. Yes, I know who I am, even when self-doubt once shouted otherwise. I see clearly, my worries were never the truth, just passing shadows. They looked enormous when I crowd almost comic. I wasted whole hours believing those shadows mattered, but I've learned better since they are so insignificant. Why waste my time? Why not turn my thoughts toward what I can do now? Toward what feels light, even joyous. Yes, I can choose differently. Yes, I can laugh at how serious I was about being useless. Yes, I can remember that none of it stopped me from being alive, breathing, creating, loving every slip, every reaction, every doubt. They were small things, and I am something vast. And in this knowing I feel playful again. I ask myself, what would be fun to think about now? What can I enjoy right this moment? Instead of circling old worries, I smile at the simple answers, a breath, a song, a memory that warms me. Even a silly idea that makes me chuckle. Yes, I can shift like this. Yes, I know who I am. Not a project, not a mistake, but a living stream wide enough to hold storms, and light enough to laugh once they've passed. I've just walked myself upward, step by step, and the shift I feel is mine to keep. Let it carry me into whatever inspired action calls me. A softer thought, a smile, or something playful I give myself right now. I'll return here whenever I need a lift. To find a better feeling.